Hey, Shalom, Akim Shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to start off by giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught me this truth and a sincere Shalom to the hopeful elect out there. Shalom to you all. Right? There's a lot going on right now. Okay, y'all know I made that video yesterday. Those of you that have been tuning in, about the protest that's coming. I believe it's the 14th. What's today's date? The 12th. Tomorrow's the 13th. Yeah, I believe it's the 14th. The No Kings protest, And we already saw how Trump brought out the National Guard and now the Marines. Okay, so this is going to be very crazy, man. It's going to be nationwide. All right. And while all that stuff is happening, there's some other headlines too that's happening, man. Okay. You got a food shortage fears at one of America's biggest grocery chains. So, right, you got Whole Foods. Okay. That's going into them famines. Okay. These are man-made famines, right? Because they're bringing down this system. All right. The Lord is bringing it down, really. Okay, even though the Lord is using the elites to do it, it's still the Lord who controls all things. Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. So ultimately, man, it's the Lord's will for this place to go down. All right, and it's being attacked on all angles, man. The economy, the workers, the morale of the people. These plantation jobs, they ain't paying. Rent's going up, food shortages. All right, people are losing it because of these the immigration situation. All right, we know the Israelites have been getting thrown into concentration camps, wrongfully so too. Okay, like they weren't being thrown in there because they did anything wrong. A lot of them are U.S. citizens in there, man. Okay, so ultimately, okay, this is the early signs of Jacob's trouble. Now, I wouldn't say it is Jacob's trouble, but I would say we're coming into Jacob's trouble because, you'll know when it's Jacob's trouble. All right, you'll know. But, yeah, man, let's get into this real quick. It says Whole Foods has issued a warning to customers following a cyber attack on its main supplier. The supplier, United Natural Foods, UNFI, was forced to shut down certain systems after detecting unauthorized activity on its internal networks in recent days. As a result, Whole Foods has alerted employees about the potential for food shortages in its more than 500 locations across the U.S., according to an internal memo obtained by TechCrunch. See, it says the Amazon-owned grocery store added that the cyber attack has impacted UNFI's ability to select and ship products from their warehouses, and that this will impact our normal delivery schedules and product availability. You see, so these different companies are getting attacked by cyber attack. All right, or these different stores, they're all going to be affected, it's saying, right? These different Whole Foods. All right, and how many more shortages are there going to be in other stores, man? Y'all remember in the emergency when the C-19 hit, all right, you had all type of shortages, toilet paper shortages, right? And then now they got an excuse to release this illness, man, because you're going to have all these protests, and then cases start surging of whatever, bird illness or C-19 might come back with a vengeance, whatever it may be. Okay, that can actually force them to put more draconian measures and shutdowns and bring out even more military, right? And all they need is a little bit of pushback from the people. If the people start fighting back, that's where they could unleash the military full force, man. All right? Bring in martial law, whatever it may be. All right? And that all this stuff happening is going to bankrupt America even more, man. The economy is going to go down. All right, the economy is going to continue to fall. All right, until eventually the dollar completely collapses. All right, and people just say fuck it. People start giving up. All right, these jobs shut down, and ultimately, you know, that's gonna be Jacob's trouble when all hell breaks loose. People gonna everywhere. It's gonna be like these protests everywhere though. All right, it's gonna be, you know, it's not gonna be a protest though. People gonna be breaking into houses, stealing your food, stealing your wives. All right, doing all that because of the lack of bread. Okay, but the Lord, you know, is bringing all these things to pass, man. These are the signs that the Lord told us about. So that's why we got to pray and watch. Okay, we got to pray and watch. Here's another headline. It says, troops are now patrolling Los Angeles. This is a disaster waiting to happen. You see? So, yeah, those troops, they already there. You know, Trump sent them, you know, whatever. Or the elite sent them, right? Because you got, you know, these protests are, a lot of them are orchestrated. Okay, but they got to make it look real. They're going to be like, oh, yeah, you know. And, of course, you got organic protesters. You got people that are protesting of their own accord, right? But they got to send their own in there, too. And then they're going to send the controlled opposition, right? Or they are the controlled opposition, and then this is the military that they're bringing in. The troops, it says, are now patrolling Los Angeles. This is a disaster waiting to happen. Yeah. You know, that's you know, a few people get a little bit buck wild. That's all they need to start firing shots, putting people down, right? And potentially cause a war. All right? And then if that happens, they could declare all Northern Kingdom, right? So-called Hispanics, they could label us all T's. And next thing you know, hey, we're going to be for, basically for a parade, literally, man. Like everybody's gonna see you being Hispanic. You know, these so-called white people, you know, they gonna be looking. I mean, they already kind of, you know, bucking up against us right now because they see what's going on, and you know, those of them that are looking at politics and they're real into that. You know, plus they got that perpetual hatred towards Jake. They're gonna watch this stuff and take it out on Jake at work. You know, which, hey, I've been catching hell at the plantation like always, but it is what it is, man. We're here to suffer, you know. The Lord has us here in a state of suffering for now. But ultimately, this punishment will end, man. And Esau's going to get his, man. As soon as this devil comes after the elect, the Lord will raise up his men with spiritual powers, raising up that standard through Yahweh Bashim Awashai. And, you know, it's going to be Esau's turn to get fucked up. You know, and then ultimately Yahushai's return, a very beautiful day. All right, very evil time for the heathens, the 2/3. All right, but a beautiful time for the elect, man. All right, let's get some precepts real quick. All right, because hey, this right here, okay, in just a couple days, what, on Saturday? It's Thursday now, so on Saturday, this protest gonna start. Hey, that could be, all hell could break loose right there. Jacob's trouble could begin right there, man. So just keep watch and pray, brothers and sisters. All right, this is Matthew 24:7. For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, right? You got the man-made famines, and you got actual famines as well. All right, it says in pestilences, right? They could bring that C-19, that bird illness, and just blame it on the protest like they did the last time. Y'all remember that? All right? And earthquakes in diverse places, which we've had those. Okay? All right? We already got these wars going on worldwide and rumors as well. Okay? But as you can see, man, something's ready to go down, man. This could also kick off a race war. You got, like it says, nation shall rise against nation, right? That's talking about, you know, different races of people, man. Israelites versus Edomites, right? And of course, when Jacob's trouble hit, it's going to be every man for himself. It'll be a free-for-all, man. You'll have Edomites against Edomites, or Jake against Jake, right? So, you know, Jacob's trouble is close. Yasharallah. definitely keep watch and pray. All right, and focus on Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. You know, and I'm saying that to myself first and foremost, man, because, you know, these plantation jobs take a lot of your focus. All right, paying bills, doing all the normal everyday things, whatever, whatever. All right, but make sure that you prioritize Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, man. All right, because ultimately, we want to receive salvation. All right, we want to see the downfall of our enemy. We don't want to be destroyed with our enemy. All right, we want the victory over the beast. All right, we want mercy, the Lord to show mercy on us. All right, and so we have faith in Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, and we got to follow the instructions of the book to the best of our abilities, man. All right, this is Lamentations 4:22. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion, man. That's why we going through all this hell, you know, with these jobs, you know, with slavery in the past, you know, with all these bills out the ass we paying left and right. We ain't got no money to even eat, you know, eat good, you know, or you don't have much money left up after rent. Maybe you work a job for 6 months, right? You could survive for 2-3 months, and then next thing you know, you could go homeless, right? So you got to be wise and circumspect, but, you know, at the end of the day, you got to understand we in this situation because we sinned against our power, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, us Israelites, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You are the Israelites of the Bible, okay? And we are in a horrible, horrible condition. We are the last ones hired and the first ones fired because we are the Israelites, man. All right, we're supposed to be ruling this earth. That's why this whole world is upside down, because these demonic children, also known as Esau, Edom, so-called white people, these are the people ruling the earth. And they got everything all ass backwards, upside down, you know. And they got us doing what? They got us keeping their shitty-ass system running with all the effort we put in at work, and they make no account of it, man. You could be the hardest working guy, one-man army, you know, doing a job of 3 or 4 men, and they'll fire your ass for a technicality. But then you got an Edomite who's not doing shit, and they keep his ass for years. You see? And if you're wise, you can see these things in real life and understand, yeah, man, we are still in captivity to this day. All right, but there's going to come a time when Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai is going to say the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished. That's it. All right? This is a prison sentence we're serving here in America, man. But that prison sentence is going to be up soon, man. We're watching, we're praying, we're seeing the signs. Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai is going to save us from this hell, brothers and sisters. We got to keep believing, man. It's the good fight of faith. And faith comes by what? By hearing, and hearing by the word of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. All right? So definitely always immerse yourself in these scriptures. Watch these videos, you know? And you know, that's how you continue to stay in the faith, man. You know, praying, believing. That's what the elect, which was chosen from the foundation of the world, that's what the elect is going to be doing in these times. It says, O daughter of Zion, right? We are the daughter of Zion. We are the Israelites, all right? And soon the punishment of our iniquity will be accomplished. It says, he will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. See? So there's going to come a time when this prison sentence is going to be up, all right? And that's going to happen first for the elect. All right, the elect is going to receive their salvation first, all right? And that's going to be the end of Esau's perpetual slavery of our people, okay? Having our people in chains, all right? Now, right now, we're not in physical chains, but we're in mental chains, all right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they got most of our people's mind fucked up. And even those of us in this truth, we still got to go to these plantation jobs, right? But look what it says. It says, he will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins, right? And that's why the elders and apostles always say Jacob's trouble is going to turn to Esau's trouble, all right, which that's not an official term, Esau's trouble, right? But in the scriptures, there's something called Jacob's trouble, which is a time like no other when all hell breaks loose. It's a time that's never been and never will be again. It's a horrible, horrible time with a lot of great death and judgment from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right, people going to be killing each other, raping, robbing, and murdering each other to the point where, there's going to be very few men left. And that's why the scriptures talk about 7 women will cleave to 1 man for protection because of all the great death, destruction, and just chaos. All right. And during that time, Esau will get fucked up because he's going to try to roll on the men of the Lord. And Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is going to give us the spiritual powers to fight Esau just like the men of old, man. You can remember King David defeating Goliath, right? You can read about King David. He jumped over a wall. He ran through a troop. He killed tens of thousands of men in war, okay? That's a mighty man of war, man. The Lord is going to give us those powers again, even in this flesh, okay? And then we'll be fully changed when Yahweh Shai returns, all right? And that's the end of Esau's rulership, man, forever, all right? And then Esau's going to have to serve those 1,000 years, man, all right? So, hey, every heartache and headache you had to deal with at the plantation, just know the Lord is watching, man. The Lord is watching, and Esau will pay for it sooner rather than later, all right? Because we believe through the Spirit, hey, this is the hopeful year of the destruction of Esau and the returning of our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai, 2025, Lord's will. Lord's will. Say that as a man, all right, that, this is the hopeful year, right, which the Apostle Tahar had coined it, okay, and it can still happen, all right? But yeah, brothers and sisters, I pray that lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect, giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakorash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us this truth. A sincere shalom to the hopeful elect out there, listening, learning, and or teaching. Shalom wa abad babal. Shalom.